Good afternoon, I'm Jessica Tidswell.
And I'm Abigail White. Today on Quays News.
We have the breaking news on Manchester terror group who are linked to the arena bomber.
And in sport, Salford's first MMA fighter, Pietro Menga, will represent the city in the UFC. Our reporter Jamal Nayaz discussed his recent signing.
We spoke to a cafe owner who is losing her business due to HS2 developments.
Been prepared for it. We're in the redevelopment area, so I've been expecting it for a long time.
Breaking news. A Manchester man who had links to the arena bomber has been convicted of terror offences after travelling to Syria to fight with so-called Islamic State. Mohammed Abdallah, former pupil at Burnage High School for Boys, was convicted at Woolwich Crown Court. He has been found guilty for possession of a gun and receiving £2,000 for terrorism purposes and membership of IS. This case has now cast light on the South Manchester terror group who were linked to Salman Abedi, who killed 22 people in the Ariana Grande concert in May.
A new craze in Manchester is seeing teenagers risk their lives by jumping onto the back of lorries. Councillors and police have said they will prosecute offenders who take part. They are not only risking their own lives, but others too. Our news correspondent Adam Bath joins us. So Adam, what more can you tell us that we don't already know?
Well, it's a bit of an interesting one, Jess. Footage has emerged of teenagers in the Oldham and Shore area jumping onto the back of lorries as part of a new craze called lorry surfing. You can see from the images that we'll be showing in a moment, it truly is quite shocking stuff. Now, this is the first time we've seen it. These pictures are courtesy of the MEN, but it does show eyewitnesses providing dash cam footage of two males swinging from the back of lorries, risking their lives and others as well.
Yeah, so you said this hasn't happened before, so do you know if the police will be able to put a stop to it?
Well, it's something that we see on social media quite a bit. Thrill seekers trying to find that new edge. We see people jumping off the roofs of skyscrapers, riding on the fronts of underground trains as well. And most recently, I think I saw a group of lads jumping off the roof of the Etihad. So this could be just another example of people trying to live life on the edge.
And what does it mean so that we get to see the footage of this, but what if we're watching the video, what would we actually see happening?
It's pretty hard to say, really, because this is the first time that we've seen it. As we said, this footage was provided by someone at the MEN. However, Chris Gloucester, a Shore councillor, has said that what we have seen poses a danger to other road users and has called for it to stop. We've also been in touch with the police. They've said that they're going to put extra patrols on to monitor the area where we have seen this lorry surfing to make sure that it prevents further incidents.
Yes, thank you for that. You can see this happening though, because you can think, is this just people having fun? Because on a local page where I live, there's people climbing on scaffolding, and you think, is this better that they're going out and doing stuff instead of sat at home on their Xbox all day or the PlayStation? Yeah,
I see on social media all the time people taking pictures from really high up just to... the pictures, of course, look stunning, but they need to make sure that they make sure they live for a few more years,
That they're adhering to safety precautions.
Well, exactly. So if you want to get involved and have your say, do you think it's a bit of harmless fun, or do you think it's a serious subject that we should be talking about? Get involved in the discussion on Quays News Twitter account using the hashtag social.
So you might have seen the same bike around the city and wondered where they've all come from. Well, Mobike allows citizens to rent a bike and ride to wherever they like for a small fee. Salford was prohibited area last week after the firm explained they were re-evaluating the area whilst they were operating. However, due to complaints, the company has decided to bring back Salford to the region so people can cycle around again. Dennis Andre has more.
Sorry about that. I'm sure it was a great package from Dennis. We saw him earlier on the bulletin riding around the city on his bike. He looked like he having a great time, didn't he, Abby? OK, so Linda's Cafe has been serving up grub to Mancunians for over 30 years now. But it's now been forced to close as part of the new HS2 train line developments. Surprisingly though, owner Linda feels the time is right to close and is delighted the area is getting the redevelopment it truly deserves.
I'm being prepared for it. We're in the redevelopment area, so I've been expecting it for a long time. So no, we were ready for it, and I'm ready to retire now. I've not had much time because I spend a lot of time here in the cafe, so yeah.
And what do you think about the area being redeveloped then?
Well, we've seen a lot of changes over the years. Was the rag trade when we came, they used to be making jumpers, and now it's all changed. It's apartments and hotels. And yes, like next door, maybe you can hear the noise from the site next door. It's going to be a posh hotel.
Let's see what he's been up to today. Ooh. We can recover this.
Look, all right.
Well, we tried, didn't we?
I didn't realise Dennis looked like that, but we learn something new every day.
He looked to be in a little bit of pain. I thought he had a good time in town today.
He obviously did. Anyway, so how safe are your kids? A search issued from the NSPCC showed that Salford was responsible for over 200 cases of child neglect this year. Some of these children are trying to contact Childline but can't get through due to the high demand of calls. This charitable organisation, NSPCC, has started a charity fundraising campaign. They hope that these donations will allow more children to reach to counsellors before it's too late.
And you might have seen students at the University of Manchester have created a pop-up museum in recognition of 70 years of the NHS.
Yes, so the exhibition today is called Stories of Change, 70 Years of the NHS, and we're all MA students on the Art Gallery Museum Studies course at the University of Manchester. So the objects that we're displaying are all from the Museum of Medicine and Health, and they gave us each group a box of objects, and then from that box of objects we had to each create our own little exhibition around a certain theme, and then we brought it into one big exhibition. Each stall's got a different theme, so we've got one, so my stall that I'm on is in regards to sort of the private sector and like where the NHS has evolved from and then what it might look like in the future. So we've got like questions and like a voting box about if you're like for or against privatisation. And they've also got other stalls relating to like midwifery, which kind of revolves around more taboo subjects, which some things are a bit naughty. And then we've also got
Despite losing to Manchester last night to Manchester City, the new Champions League record, here's Mark with a sport update. So Mark, can you tell us what's really going on?
Thank you, Jess. Well, Manchester City qualified for the last 16 of the Champions League last night as group winners, despite losing 2-1 away to Shakhtar Donetsk. Sergio Aguero scored a stoppage time consolation for City in a game which saw teenager Phil Foden become the youngest ever Englishman to start in the competition. Now, the winner of the Ballon d'Or award will be announced tonight as a panel of journalists vote on who's the world's greatest footballer. Our reporter Isaac Beach joins me now. So, Isaac, what can we expect from tonight's ceremony?
Well, Mark, the usual suspects in Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar are strong favourites for this evening's ceremony. As you could probably expect, Manchester City's midfielder Kevin De Bruyne as well as United's goalkeeper De Gea are both up as well. Kevin De Bruyne has been pivotal for City this season. He scored pivotal goals, obviously the one against Chelsea, and obviously David De Gea, his performance against Arsenal was incredible. 33 shots and only one went past him, so that's not to be ignored. So it's good to see both these players up for the awards. Also, it's interesting because Kevin De Bruyne played under Jose Mourinho for Chelsea, and Jose Mourinho didn't really rate him too highly. But the irony is that he might just come back to haunt Mourinho's title chances given his form and Manchester City's current form as well.
And how would you say the awards have changed over the years it's been around?
I think they've changed significantly over the years. I think the award, they've seen a plethora of talent throughout the years. From 1956, where it started with the Stanley Matthews who won it, to last year's winner Cristiano Ronaldo. It seems that they've been more of an event in recent years, more of a celebration. With the TV platforms that are on offer on Sky, BT, they're not just showing Premier League games, they're showing Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A. So I think that the people watching the games and the people watching the players have got much more of an interest, and they know more about the players that they're watching on the TV. I think it's also important to mention that the one thing that hasn't changed in the past 8 years are the winners. Ronaldo and Messi have been first and second throughout from 2008, and deservedly, I think, as well.
And who would you say are the favourites for tonight, Isaac?
Well, as you can expect, again, Ronaldo and Messi are clear favourites with the bookies, with Neymar as third. Eden Hazard and De Bruyne are the only two Premier League players in the top 10 for the bookies' favourites. The players below Ronaldo and Messi, I'm sure they'll be waiting in the ranks to grab the top spot in the next few years, but I can't see Ronaldo or Messi slipping up anytime soon. I think on the whole, though, the Ballon d'Or is healthy for the game. Ronaldo and Messi are going to win trophies year in, year out, but it's competitive competition, and I think it's the same for the other nominees. It's an incentive to do well. The players want to win trophies, and there's nothing quite like a personal honour for a player.
Thank you very much, Isaac. Now, Salford's first ever UFC fighter, Pietro Menga, is preparing to make his debut for the company next Saturday in Canada. Our reporter Jamal Niaz caught up with him before his biggest fight to date.
It has been a turbulent couple of days for 13-0 flyweight Pietro Menga, who has just discovered he'll be fighting the highly ranked Tim Elliott at UFC Fight Night Winnipeg a week on Saturday. What a crazy experience this is for you. Can you describe where you were the moment you discovered this news?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I was halfway through the most succulent steak you've ever seen in your life, and I was just flicking through my emails. Something unusual there. I thought it was like spam or something. Clicks on it. It was, can you make weight December 16th? Left the steak, didn't take another bite, went straight home and spoke to my coaches, and it was a definite yeah.
The journey to make it to the UFC is no easy feat, but Pietro hails his family as being a major part of his success.
The moment I knew I was going to take it serious, I was already quite a few fights in as an amateur, and I sat down with my mum and I was like, look, I want to make a go of this and go full time, and this isn't just a joke, it's not just a hobby for me. I want to get to the UFC. Within a couple of years, that was my goal. How can I do it? And she was like, look, I'm going to help you, look after you, support you. And I just had like part-time jobs here and there so that I could train full time. And it was a horrible first couple of years, but I already feel like I'm in a position where I can now help without needing the UFC profile. I've already helped a lot of people along the way, which I didn't always have that help other than a couple of coaches and family members. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to be a good role model and someone that they can come to, whether it's one of the kids in the gym or one of the fighters or whoever it is. Hopefully I can give a bit of advice or help in however I can.
Flyweight division is dominated by pound for pound number one Demetrius Johnson, and Pietro feels he is the one to inject new life into the 125-pound division.
Yeah, definitely, I'll stay in 125 and build that division up. I'll save the division. There's no problem with that. There isn't too many personalities. There isn't much going on in the division, so I'm going in there with a bang, jumping in with 2 feet next week, then straight onto UFC London, and I'll attract eyes to this division. There's no doubt about it. And me and Demetrius down the line will meet. I do think that the Tim Elliott fight is going to be a tough fight. I'm a realist. I might need a couple of fights to get to the point where I'm ready for Demetrius, but it's all part of the game. The strategy's there. I'll take this one, beat Tim. I think on a full camp's notice, Tim Elliott won't get out the first round with me. No doubt about it. Won't make it outside the first round. It's going to be a little bit tougher. We're going to war. We're going to be technical. I'm going to be the winner. I'm coming out on top. Simple as that.
Well, I'm really excited for that fight. I'm really excited for the card in general. I can't wait to see your career develop, and I'm really happy we're at the University of Salford right now. I'm really happy for you to be representing the city of Salford in the UFC. So it's been great speaking to you, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
And it's great to see a Salford lad on a stage like that, and we wish him all the best of luck, don't we, Jeff?
We do, and we also wish Dennis the best of luck in getting his package out there to you and seeing what's going on with the mobikes in town. So through to today, you've been getting involved with us online and at Quays News, so we're going to hear from what some of you have been saying online. Okay.
So we know that we've had many different opinions, but here's Dana with the weather.
Good afternoon. A big change in the weather today with a weather warning for snow and ice coming our way. It was a windy start this morning, but as the rain started to clear, that opens the back door and lets a big gust of cold wind come through. So temperatures will start from 8 degrees, but will plummet to close to freezing overnight. So it's turning very wintry. There also could be some blustery snow showers, and that theme will continue through the night, into Friday, and into the weekend. So that yellow warning for ice and snow comes into force from tomorrow, which potentially means terrible driving condition and icy roads. For those of you travelling in the morning, make sure to take care and give yourself a bit more time. We could see up to 5 centimetres of snow on lower ground and as much as 10 to 20 in higher areas. That's your weather. Make sure to wrap up warm and stay.
News. Goodbye.